Looking at this price chart, how many of you think XRP can start running like this? And it's not just XRP showing you that possibility. You're watching that the market is starting to run higher. You're watching a lot of different assets doing this run up. Some of them doing way higher than others for sure. Say TRB has already done around 80% for the last 7 days. And if you look at for the month, it has already done 330%. Now it's at 43.82. We had given you this target saying that's a breakout opportunity. Watch out for 44. Where are we right now? 43.82. You already reached your target. Yes, that's not the only opportunity in the market. There is a lot of different assets starting to run higher, 20% a day, 30% a day, 40% a day. This is starting to get exciting. You're watching that happening and you can follow up with the volume and everything else in different exchanges. But the positive idea here is XRP is also showing you something like that. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. Before we explore all these details, which kind of give you a macro narrative, because some of these are really important. It kind of gives you a broader picture and why this asset would start running. That is a huge thing. So yes, let's start that, but please do a favor. Hit that like button, and if you have any questions, drop in the comment section. Let's jump. First one. The highlight here, Anders actually, have detailed that specifically. So if you're on Twitter or X.com, follow this guy. He's actually worth following, and he actually gave that idea clearly. Look at this. When you actually look for the entire list, looking at the actual way, the governance of the system, XRP is the only one which stands out based on what the Bank of International Settlement is talking about. Now, this is not only Bank of International Settlements. We have heard this before from Jim Rickards, a famous investor who has been everywhere in the world, and he kind of give you the idea. Look for this. Federated Byzantine algorithm, that is something you should look at because that governance model is getting a lot of adoption from banks and central banks. This is what he stated. And right now, when you go through the central banks and you see these guys out there, Payments Canada, they've been working with Ripple for a long period of time. We know that. Once you take through all this, you're watching like Ripple has connectivity to all of these others or most of them. And then you read through this and you're like, okay, there is a lot of these messages, or when you read between the lines, it all kind of point towards XRP. For some reason, you feel like that. Now, crypto market as a whole is starting to move up. Crypto.com is saying they are looking to acquire more companies before the next cycle. They are preparing themselves. They are positioning themselves well enough for the next cycle. So let me ask you guys this. How many of you think like you are well positioned for the next run up? Because next run up is going to be much bigger. They are not in the equities because they think the money can drop. And that's why I think all of them who are in the money markets, which are most likely short term, 3 months, 6 months, and a year, as soon as these mature, they will look for better assets which can have a much higher ROI structure. And that for me is like, okay, we understand the fact that if you're not in the real assets, if you're in the fiat currency, this is exactly what's happening. They're printing as much money as possible to make sure you lose as much value as possible. So is this an asset which you should be in? I'm not sure, but the way I look at this, I'm watching there's a lot of blackouts going on around the globe. And if you're looking for green energy or a greener system, I would say you have better alternatives than going through this stuff. Because this is somewhat like, you do all those crazy things to be incentivized. And that's exactly what these guys are talking like, that's not the right system. That means the world is going to run in a new financial infrastructure. There is no doubt. And they are making everything possible in that way. Look at this. This is from Canada. And I'm like, whoa, that's a big stat. 18 to 35-year-old, 53% of them are living paycheck to paycheck. And the economy is not good. Most of them are trying to do 2 or 3 different jobs. And this is how they feel. 1. 2, if they keep the rates this high for another couple of months, this is going to go much, much worse. Because I think if you actually look at a company, most of them are going bankrupt, and those who are strong and positioned well enough are looking at the cost of money and saying, okay, we're not expanding now. We're not hiring more now. The cost of money is too much. If we put that into a bank or money markets, we can get a lot to this side instead of taking out loan and paying them to that side. So that is delaying all these, which would push the economy, slow down the economy much more, which again come back to something like this. And at that time, Citigroup kind of says like, we think there is another hike coming. We're not sure how this is going to work, but we are sure about one thing. This doesn't actually look good because they are already evaporating your purchasing power. So unless you are in a right asset, in the right asset class, it is going to be really hard. And then we see something like this. So I'm like, I've tried to get other areas of this news looking for like, is it actually real? So I'm like, okay, the Aishwarya, and you're actually watching like it's rumored. Great. So you actually go to the bottom, you actually want to see like, if things are right. And it's like it is generated by the support of AI. So AI went through all over the internet and maybe got on some social media hype tweet, I don't know. And an editor kind of checked it and ticked it okay. So they have their terms and conditions, which is crazy. Now, if you read through that and look at this narrative, yeah, it is true and it should be true. But the problem is we really don't know whether that's true or not. Yes, the sourceofinvesting.com as a banner, it's great. But the news as of now is not confirmed. So just don't jump onto that. But the market as a whole is bouncing off from the support. Bitcoin is showing us that signal. Bitcoin dominance did come back, retest and bounce. So when you zoom in on Bitcoin, you do see that it is trending higher. It is clearly making higher highs, higher lows. That is a clear signal. So as soon as you see a break from this range, I would be super bullish at this range. Because once you have a rising channel breaking to the upside, wow, that's bullish. So you're actually talking about price moving much higher. Now, yes, we want to actually jump on to XRP and focus on this one first. If you actually take XRP price chart on a daily and put that argument, yeah, we are still at the support. We want to actually see how things are evolving. So we actually go zooming in on a 4-hour chart. We really want to actually see like, do we have that amount of energy in the price action that we can go up? I would say right now on the medium term, yes, we do. That's where you are in the position. But this structure which you're observing here kind of shows some weakness. Now, what do I mean by that? If you actually zoom in on an hourly, there is a big possibility that this is a double top and this is your neckline. So say somewhere around 0.49. If you break that to the downside, be cautious. Short term, it can come back down towards 0.46. Now, I would say that is a great opportunity. Now, why is that? Because if you actually take a look at this, the price coming back down, I would say as you zoom out, at least on a 4-hour chart, you can actually see a double bottom formation there at the level of major support. That is going to be healthy. Now, can there be some difference? Yeah, for sure, obviously. This is anticipation. We are trying to visualize how things work. This is a range which the price broke to the upside. There's a range which the price retested and bounced. So if you come back down here, slow down and start bouncing, that again is bullish. You want to see whether the price is actually making a micro inverse head and shoulder, which would be exceptionally bullish. So short term, yeah, you may get a great opportunity to buy XRP somewhere close to 0.46, 0.47. That is going to be a healthy move. Don't panic if that comes in hard, because you need to understand one thing. Bitcoin is drawing the liquidity. Bitcoin is attracting the liquidity as much as possible. And this retest, I want to highlight this fact. This retest in Bitcoin dominance is what's pushing a lot of altcoins crazy. You're watching like 30, 40, 50% run up, and some of them doing 200, 300% move in a week. So you are watching crypto moving, and this move is only because there is a slight correction in the Bitcoin dominance. A little bit of money came into the altcoin. So imagine as soon as the Bitcoin dominance start to consolidate that range, you will see a lot of altcoins popping. So it can be 2-3 months worth of run up. And while Bitcoin is running hard, say attracting a lot of capital, you would watch few of the assets which are trending higher now with Bitcoin run higher. So have your focus on those assets. It's going to give you a better return on most of your investment. Now, what do I mean? If you come into total crypto, except, the Bitcoin and Ether, this is what you're looking at. You have a possibility that this may actually bounce from here. Now, yeah, for sure, when you zoom in, there is a micro double bottom coming inside this range. But when you actually zoom out on a daily, you are watching a possible double bottom on the RSI. You're watching a possible double bottom on the MACD and the price action as well. So I'm like, okay, what the hell is this all about? Because if you're actually looking at double bottoms, then the price action is showing you there is a possible double bottom like this. 1, 2, there is a possible double bottom like this. So it's like pattern within pattern within pattern. It's actually happening in that way. Because as you zoom out, you go into a macro, you're now watching something like this come up. And I'm like, okay, that kind of... Now, one of the best thing is that the micro agrees with the macro. So here, the micro, the medium term, the macro, almost all of these things are agreeing together, trying to double bottom out from this market. Great. If that's true, we are most likely going to watch the price action slowly climb back up to this range. That is healthy move in the market. We are steadily trending higher. So getting a bounce here shouldn't be a surprise for us. We should be more positioned to take some of the trading profits, because as I've been highlighting, guys, if this asset class is moving 5% and you're watching some of these assets actually running hard, and we are in some trades, we are trading on the other end, and I'm actually giving you guys all the ideas of what I'm doing, how I'm doing, and what I'm seeing as an opportunity and all in the Patreon. So if you are interested in that, you can actually follow that. We are running in some of these trades in the groups. Today I even went on adding a lot of audio message so that you guys know what we are doing, how things are evolving, and you understand this correctly, because that's important. Why? If that 5% move is creating the market bounce like this, then imagine when it actually does a 30% run up, a lot of assets are going to do 100%, 200%, 300% run ups. So you don't have to be even leveraged to get a decent return. Now, if you understand how this game works and you can handle, say, a 1x, 2x, or even 3x, that's it. If you go above that, now your risk is too much. It's hard to manage those risks. So risk management is important, but at the same time, asset selection is super important. When you see a breakout here, guys, understand this. We are starting the next rally mode in few assets. This is that call. Because if you actually watch how the price action is trending, it is giving you the idea that it is about to burst to the upside. One thing important, you should be positioned in the right assets which are trending higher and at the support now that you get the higher ROI. Now, you don't have to try catching the bottom and the top. We are not trying to do that. If you look at all the stock market calls or crypto calls, we're not trying to look at that. If the price is running 100%, it's okay. We are mostly in 2 or 3x trade, and I don't want that bottom and top 15. I'm happy with something in between, and as already I'm in a 3x trade, by half of that, I reach my target, done, I move out. You don't want to take too much risk, because what if the price gets rejected just below that macro target, expecting that, okay, this can be a bigger target, and that can come back down and look something bad. So anticipating and visualizing possible moves in the market is going to be really important from here, because you are also looking at the macro, saying, okay, the macro structure here doesn't actually look that great. Yes, we are testing this range of resistance. dollar is at a resistance. I agree. So if you get a rejection here, that's going to be super bullish for crypto market. Now, am I increasing my bullish stance? Yes, it is. Why? Primary question, you are watching that the price action is increasing. It's bullish. One, the pattern forming inside here doesn't look good. That's a rising wedge. It is bearish. Two, when you're making higher highs in the price, you're actually making lower highs in the RSI. Let me take a correct line so that we are not misrepresenting the facts. This is what's happening in the market right now. The strength is reducing. So I'm like, okay, there is a bearish divergence coming in. The price is at a resistance, and the daily candle right now looks like a hanging man. Historically, that kind of brings in a drop to the downside. So if that's true, you're talking about the price coming back down, which means when dollar goes down, what happens? The crypto market rallies. We have actually watched the crypto market rally during this phase, right? We didn't get much here. Some assets did, not all assets, but this range gave us a lot of room. So if that's true, what we watched here in the dollar is respecting what we just talked about in the crypto market cap. That means a lot of assets are about to run higher. That's why I'm going to reiterate this. If you haven't watched through all this, and especially if you haven't checked it, the monthly digest where I've actually gone through like 10, 12 assets which are trending higher. That's important to understand that this set of assets are trending higher. These sets are not trending higher, it's trending lower. And a few of them are in accumulation range. So you actually know if you're taking profits from those who are trending higher, which area should you focus? Those who are trending inside the accumulation. That's great because they are going to break higher. They are already starting to trend higher, but in an accumulation range. These are already creating a macro higher low structure where you get the maximum confidence. So guys, if you received value, smash that like button for me. I appreciate that a lot. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.